So you parked your car out front.
We did, yes. Many of you have maybe had a chance to see. That's the Flying Spur Hybrid. This is the second hybrid that Bentley's introduced in the United States. We actually introduced the Flying Spur Hybrid first with our Bentley model line, and today we're showing the Flying Spur, which is our sedan. But we actually have a special edition. It's called the Odyssean Edition, and it really celebrates sustainability. So it's about sustainable materials and really a look forward to the future, which we'll talk about today. But we're really excited about this product because it draws inspiration from the EXP 100 GT, which was the car we launched during our centenary event in 2019. Bentley Motors celebrated our 100th anniversary in 2019. And we set forward a goal to be the most sustainable luxury mobility company by 2030. So we have a long road ahead of us. Well, not that long, but we're really excited to be able to share that car with you today.
So if there are car people in the crowd, give me the 60-second car pitch of like what makes that car amazing.
Well, the hybrid is actually the most technologically advanced car that we produce today. A lot of that has to do with the connectivity in the car. So we have capabilities for our customers to precondition the car using a mobility app so they can open up their cell phone, set the temperature to the condition that they would like, and the car sets its temperature, whether it's heating or pre-cooling, while it's plugged in. It also has intelligent navigation, so when you're in EV mode, the car can actually define what the most efficient way to travel is once you set in your destination. So it's really the most advanced car that we've produced today.
So people don't usually think of luxury automobiles as sustainable. Obviously they come with a high price tag, but being a luxury automaker actually gives you a lot of flexibility and a lot of freedom to innovate in terms of sustainability. Can you share some of the learnings?
Yeah, I mean, we're not the first to market, of course, and a lot of that has to do with what our customers' expectations are. We don't want to bring a car to market that doesn't deliver on our customers', their expectations of the performance characteristics, the technology. So we're starting with a hybrid powertrain, but by 2030, our plan is to have a full EV, fully electric model line. In fact, starting in 2025, we'll launch one new model all the way up to 2030. So we'll have a 5-car model lineup, full electric.
And I should mention, should have mentioned this at the top of the interview that Worth has named Bentley one of the most sustainable companies of the year. You'll see a write-up in the magazine that's distributed throughout the room. And a lot of that is not just because of the automobiles that you're making, but the way you're making them. And your factory and crew is widely acknowledged to be one of the most sustainable in the world. Can you give people a picture of like what makes that factory different?
Sure, yeah, the factory really is a magical place. I mean, first of all, our cars are hand-built, so we still have craftsmen and women who are putting together, they're sewing the seats, they're hand-stitching steering wheels, and the veneer woods are hand-sanded and polished. But really, when we talk about sustainability, the factory itself utilizes solar, so we've installed 10,000 solar panels over our car park. That's on top of the 20,000 solar panels that already existed on the factory. We recuperate some of the water that's used in some of the paint factory processes. We even have a honeybee colony on the factory grounds as well. So it's really about eco-friendly environment and what we're planning to do for our future factory. We're kind of creating a model where our customers can be even more involved in the commissioning process. So working alongside the design team to really build out the bespoke custom interior that they expect.
And a lot of the materials that you're using inside the vehicles are, not your ordinary materials. They're obviously premium, they're luxurious, but they're increasingly made from sustainable materials as well. Are there any of the materials that go into the manufacturing process you want to highlight?
Yeah, well, the factory was just certified for our reduction in plastics. So we're focused not just on the factory processes that takes place in Crewe, England, but also the supply chain. So we're working closely with our suppliers to make sure that they're doing their part. And beyond the supply chain, it's really about delivering the cars too. So here in the US, right now our dealerships, we're working with Carbon Trust to go through an evaluation of what their CO2 impact is as well. So,
have you, obviously many automakers are making this transition to electric. For a brand like Bentley, was this move more calculated from the leadership team, or were consumers saying that this is something that they wanted to have?
I think it's a little bit of both, but we've done research, particularly with our existing customers. 1 in 3 Bentley drivers today already have an EV vehicle in their driveway. And the survey that we conducted, those who don't have an EV, within the next 5 years, 75% of those customers are considering an EV. So the motivation is there from our customers already, but more than just our existing customers, we want to attract new customers to build the brand and make it even stronger. So we know we need to appeal to a new audience, and part of that attraction is about being a sustainable brand like Bentley.
Do customers have any reservations in terms of the infrastructure? I know when I talk about electric vehicles and the consideration process, inevitably people say, well, I'm worried about charging, I'm worried about long distance travel, which are legitimate issues which are being mitigated over time, but have you heard any of that from your customers?
Yeah, the research show that probably 95% of the customers today would expect to charge their car at home and do shorter commutes. If we think of where we are today, a lot of our customers could quite easily, at least in the car that's parked out front, could come in on EV mode alone and make it to work and back just on full electric. But of course that range becomes important if you're traveling for vacation or doing what Bentley customers are accustomed to, more grand touring. And so right now we don't feel like the infrastructure is fully there to support that. And that's why we think the hybrid is kind of a good interim step between now and when we go full electric.
Your pledge to go full electric is actually more aggressive than a lot of other car manufacturers. Most people are giving themselves an extra 5 years to make the conversion. I imagine some of that is because you're a boutique vendor that has not the largest of product lines, but a very exclusive audience and ridership. Have you found that is that the case where that you're going to be able to make this transition faster because of the type of business that you're in?
Well, as I said, our Beyond 100 strategy, it's very ambitious, but we want to be a leader in mobility, luxury sustainable mobility, and that's about setting forth goals that we believe we can achieve with our technology, but we feel like we're actually tuned quite properly for this business as we move to electrification, mostly because of our bespoke commissioning processes. So today, as I mentioned, we're hand-built cars, and a lot of our customers have the ability to design their custom interiors down to the thread color and the stitching and the veneers. So when we make a full move to EV, this is really about a platform, an electric platform, and we're coach builders, and that's what Bentley is really founded on since our inception is beautiful coach building, and we're kind of getting back to that as we move toward electrification.
Yeah, there's also an interesting story in terms of the artisanship of building the automobile. Henry Ford revolutionized the industry and it became a mass-produced product. Standardization, obviously, if you're going to scale, you're going to want to take advantage of that. But Bentley's really more about the hand craftsmanship, and I think there's a sort of artisanal value to it that's what people appreciate in a brand like Bentley.
I agree, and I think our designers are really appreciative of the freedom that they'll have too with these new chassis, because there are less restrictions in terms of transmission tunnels. There's not an engine in the front, so there's a whole new opportunity in terms of what the design language could be in the future, and that's kind of what the EXP 100 GT signaled of what the future could be, a vision of design language, both exterior and interior.
I think that's actually, the Teslas are obviously very successful in the US, and I think a lot of their success is because of their design improvements that were flowed naturally from the fact that they didn't need to have that engine in front. The cabin was more open. Obviously, they've been very avant-garde in terms of their dashboards, but like just the feel of the car is very different than traditional combustion engines, and I think they rode that for a lot of waves of like, this is a new type of automobile. And every automaker is sort of now experimenting with that freedom, it seems like.
And we certainly are as well, just thinking about how our customers might, for example, have a layover for charging, and all about wellness and well-being. So what does the cabin need to do to help you personally recharge? So whether it's different environment with colors, from light, sound, smell, all that sensory experience, that's what our designers are really thinking of now, of how to enrich that cabin experience for our customers. And then, of course, with autonomous driving on the horizon as well, there's another option to have more relaxation while you're driving.
Totally. Well, people here at the conference can experience a bit of that by actually getting into the car out front. Is that correct?
Yes, we'll be here this afternoon, so we'd invite you all to just come up, and would love to show you the Flying Spur while we're here.
Is there anything in particular they should look for when they get inside the cockpit?
Oh, I wouldn't point it out. I think you'll see it. It's definitely have a closer look to the interior. So
very cool.
quite beautiful.
Brian, thanks so much for coming
Thanks,
on.
Dan.
I
Really appreciate
you sharing your
having
time.
us. Thank you.